Yeah, lights on, game time, let's break it all down. From the spreads to the lines, who's up, who's down. We're crunching the numbers, calling the plays, talking all sports in a big time way.
Welcome back to Spreadsheet Sports. We are back with an edition for the NBA playoffs. I'm gonna be real short because I know you guys really want to jump into the thick of things. Long time no talk to. I needed the time to take care of real work as well as just the mental health of the world of betting. You want to take a break every once in a while and let your mind reset, especially when you transition in between different sports. So, yeah, much needed break, but not really a break because I still was playing around with a whole bunch of stuff and it's still been good, but it wasn't like data analysis, but it was just like data overview to make a somewhat good guess, and it worked. So it's been good. But here we are, NBA playoffs. It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to break down all four games so that we can look at those individually. And obviously, I've prepared it where we can look at the game, but also we're going to look at some of the players, um, and not just the highest producer, but also the supporting cast, right? Because they're just as important in whatever way that they make a contribution. And sometimes, sometimes teams will distribute the production evenly. And that's a challenge for defenses because that means you have to figure out a way to stop like 2 to 3 players versus the 1 to 2 highest production players. So, but you'll see that in the data. But anyway, let's dive right into it. Glad that you guys are back, and as always, thank you guys for coming to the channel. And thank you guys for who have helped the channel grow so far, and that have liked, comment, shared, subscribed, made comments, emails. It was all love. So here we are. Let's dive in. Let's see what we got for tonight. Bucks and Pacers game is going to be an interesting game to watch. I know we think we have an idea of which way it's going to go, and at face value, it does look like the Pacers are the triumph team. But let's still look at it, pull it apart a little bit. I mean, when you look at the Pacers and how they win on the road or at home, in this case, they're at home. They win 71% of their games at home. The Bucks are coming in just winning half of their games on the road, so that's going to be a disadvantage to the Bucks. When it comes to the other advantages or disadvantages, like where they are with offensive versus defensive points, like ranking wise. The Pacers win the battle of offense and the Bucks win the battle of defense. And with that being said, they're still not winning it at a high rate. I mean, well, the Pacers are. In offense, the Pacers have a pretty good offense. It's just that the Bucks are beating the defense of the Pacers, but it's not nothing to really um write home about. Both of them are kind of at the bottom when it comes to defense, which also means that we might see a somewhat high scoring game. They're going to let each other score. They're not really going to stop each other that much. Um, in the other different categories, I mean, we're looking at, rebounds, assists, 3 point attempts, 3 point percentage, field goals. I mean, I would say that it's an even split where you have the Bucks winning the category of rebounds, but just by one. You have the Bucks also winning 3 point attempts and 3 point percentage, which is still only by one. So the Bucks are going to have to use that to their advantage. If the 3 point is not there, it makes it really, really tough for the Bucks to be able to pull back from this, in my opinion. Um, Especially because the Pacers take more shots by a little bit more, not just by a hair. So the fact that they take more shots and they are home and they got that boost from home and it's the playoffs, I don't know how you bet against the Pacers. Maybe you do. I mean, even the math and the AI and the data, those formulas are leaning towards the Pacers as well. I think you're going to get what we think we're going to see out of this game. I don't think that the Bucks are going to win this game. However, it is a series. Do the Pacers have enough to sweep them? No, in my opinion. I don't know when the Bucks win. Maybe they win when they go home, but we got to see how they play. Like, there's a lot of different factors and a lot of different moving pieces in this, but the data says that it's the Bucks. I mean, it's the Pacers, but I mean, even when it comes down to injuries, Mr. Lillard is giving up what 20 plus points, and so with that being said, is that a big problem? Yeah, but he's more like a game time decision scenario. Um, Even outside of that, like you see your players, right? You see Damian Lillard, right? You see Aticambo, you see Brook Lopez, you see Kyle Kuzma, right? Like with all of that being said, that's their strength. And when you look at the scenario with the Pacers, I mean, they just got less players that do production, and I think fatigue may be a problem for them. Like I know they use the whole load management thing, but I think in the end of the day, the Pacers are going to experience some fatigue because they're going to have a problem with maintaining the extra two players of production that the Bucks have. So I think they definitely can. They can endure. They can survive it. Obviously, some of the player props that I would look at if I'm into the betting world would be Atacambo points. Even though he's a forward, I would also put down rebounds for him. Um, I like Halliburton for points for the Pacers. I think he's going to get the numbers that you want him to get. I would take 23 to 25 points. I would take 23, 25 points. Even though they up against the Bucks defense is still not that good, but they're good enough and they try to outscore you, right? So with that being said, yeah, I take Halliburton for points or I take him for points and assists. He's a guard, he gonna move the ball around like he's supposed to, so that's your assist right there, right? I take 10 assists. Um Miles Turner, put him down for the damn rebounds. He gonna be in the box banging. Um, those probably the most three that stick out to me. I mean, you make your mind up as well, but just based off of how the flow of the game is gonna go, it's gonna be some offensive rebounds, some defensive rebounds. Um, are the teams like really like fast paced? Depends on what your perspective is, right? Like, what would you say is a more effective team? Is it the team that is like running half court plays and setting it up and executing, or is it the fast break, spontaneous team? I mean, in this matchup, the Pacers are the spontaneous team. They convert 52% of their fast breaks, and they get you at least 17 fast break points, where the Bucks only get you 13. So knowing that, leaning back to the Pacers. I mean, the Bucks are paying what minus 220, and I take the points. Pacers easily 120 or more. Um, and I like the over on the total points because the defense lacks. But that's where I'm at with this game. Um, Anybody got any different perspective? I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comments. Um, do the Bucks have a chance to win? That's question number two. At some point, they're not getting. I don't see them getting swept. When they win, I don't know. I got to see how they perform in the matchup. on this game, and then I can give you a better idea of like how many more games they can win. I have to see this matchup, and I like it because the Bucks are on the road. If the Bucks were home and we had to watch this matchup, I'm not sure I could like give you a really good assessment because they might be playing a little bit more lazy because they're home. But with them being on the road, they're going to have to fight, and if they have to fight, then that's going to help me see their meter of like I give a shit. So we'll see, but it's going to be a good, it's going to be a really good game. Spread plus 5.5. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the plus five. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I would buy up the spread to plus 6.5 to give myself a cushion. I think the Bucks are going to compete. It's not going to be a blowout, but it might be between 7 to 3 point win for the Pacers. Or maybe it's that game in the last 1, 2 minutes, a lot of foul shots, and it's down to like 4 points. I'm thinking it might be that because it's the playoffs and they give a shit about playing, that 5.5 is a big gap. So give yourself some extra space, some extra insurance of 6.5 if you're into that world. But that's what I see with this game. Clippers and the Nuggets game. The West. Yeah, the Pacific and Northwest representing Clippers versus the Nuggets. Clippers are on the road. Clippers are not the best at winning games on the road. They win about half of their games on the road versus a team that wins 63% of their games at home. The data at face value is screaming out the Nuggets. We'll talk about who's going to produce and who's going to make that contribution a little bit later, but that's what we're looking at in regards to the data. I mean, coming out the gate, you got DR thinking that 60% chance that the Nuggets can win. You have the data itself saying that it's going to be around 56% to win with the DR data. So nothing is offsetting there. The data even thinks that the Nuggets going to score at least 120 points and that they were going to hold the Clippers to around 110, 115 points. That's what the data is saying. I just like to check the data and make sure that it's making it make sense. And like again, at face value, it's not going to be a boring game because anything can happen. Are the Nuggets going to sweep the Clippers? Hell no. Clippers are going to win at least two. I'll give them two. Where? I don't know. Do they sneak one on the road and then get one at home? I'll give the Clippers two. I'll give the Clippers two. They have definitely been on my radar throughout the season, and they don't go away easily, right? How they don't go away easily is their defense. They try to hold you back, get some turnovers, create some opportunities, and then they try to do some fast breaks if they can. Okay. And that's a if they can scenario. I mean, they do very well when they do that. They still produce 15 points on fast breaks where they're dealing with the Nuggets that produce 20, and they also convert 64%. So, in regards to hustle, the Nuggets win that competition. The Clippers are going to compete, but I think they're out hustled by the Nuggets. Mind you, they still have to deal with the reality that the Nuggets are also outperforming them in most of the categories, like offensive points. They're going to go get their points. They're going to. We'll talk about who's going to get those points here in a second, but that's what we're looking at. You're also talking about in the categories of rebound and assists. That's still the Nuggets as well. By a little bit, not a whole lot, other than assists. It is a lot. Like they move the ball around very well with the Nuggets. And as you see, when we go through the data and we look at who's the producers, they move the ball around and it's kind of like very equally distributed, which now poses a problem for the Clippers. But the Clippers have a good defense and they're going to have to really like This is where coaching comes in because the coach is going to have to move around the chess pieces um, and figure out how he can be most effective. Because the thing is with them distributing the points around, moving the ball around, a lot of assists, a lot more than the Clippers with some production players. The Nuggets should have a pretty easy way to get this W. Can they cover the spread minus 2.5? Yeah, I think so. I think they do. The data says that they win. I mean, and with the data saying they win and them covering the categories and them winning very well at home, it's hard to go against that. It's hard to go against that. Um, Over under the total points. I'm gonna say hard no. I would go with under on this if I had to choose. I don't see it being that high scoring of a game, 120 to 115. Maybe 105 to 111 ish. Nuggets win 111, 105. I like that a little bit better. But and that could be completely wrong. I mean, I'm pulling it from just like looking at the data and looking at how the trends of the score and the push pull probability of it all. I think it might be somewhere around there than like 115 to 124. I don't see it that high of a game. Um, Maybe an explosive first half, second half. The first part of the second half is like playing catch up if one team is behind, and then slows completely down towards the very last 5 minutes or 4 minutes of the game. So with that being said, nah, I'm not going with total points from this. Injury wise, both teams are like null and void. Injuries aren't a problem. You do have some game time people, but James Harden, Jokic, these are your like your go getters. They're your go getters, right? And even with that being said, James Harden, Zubik, Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard, that's as good as it gets. That's and the crazy thing is that's a center, a guard, and another guard and a forward, like running it. These are the people that play the most minutes. They have the best shooting percentage, and they're just the best option for production. So like they haven't released the lineups yet with the starters, but pretty much we know that these are going to be starters. But at the same time, like they're not dealing with any injuries, and this is what they bring to the table. The Clippers got a good chance with that trio, the three amigos. But on the other side of it, you do have Jokic, you do have Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray can get started with some 3 pointers and light your world up. Um, Christian Braun, Michael Parker, like they got a squad. They got a squad, dude. Like, can they pull it off again this year? Inquiring minds want to know. Um, we saw it. We know what they're capable of, and they are the thriller in the Manila. Um, but that's what I see with this game. I mean, if you're into player props, those top five, four players per team, production wise, I think you could not go wrong with anything that they would do. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, especially with the Nuggets, I would take any assist for the Nuggets player props because they move the ball around very well and better than the Clippers. And I think they're going to come into this with that same game plan. I would lean more on points for the Clippers because they're going to try to outscore and do fast break points. And I will also say rebounds for the Clippers, mainly because they're going to be trying to crash the boards and create opportunities. That's what I would lean towards for this game. But either way, it's going to be a really great game to watch. But yeah, I would say my money is on the Nuggets, and I would take the Nuggets to cover the spread. I don't even like the Clippers to cover plus 2.5. Maybe you can buy it up to 4.5. Plus Clippers plus 4.5 on another ticket with some player props to get you at least like plus 500, plus 700. Yeah, that's worth it in regards to speculating on the money market. But it's a lot of things that have to happen. Like you probably got to find like three things that's like priced very well. And that may happen because the books are like giving away a lot of different plays, a lot of options, a lot of plays, a lot of options. But good luck with that one. Haven't made my mind up on what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm going to do something. The Pistons versus the Knicks. This is an interesting matchup because the Knicks, I would say, arguably are a number 6 team, and they're playing against arguably a number 12 team, right? I say arguably because this is my ranking, not NBA or ESPN or anybody like that. That's my ranking off of performance, win ratio, coaching, a lot of different variations, but that's just how I see the teams. Helps me with evaluating who can beat who. Okay, it works for me. But with that being said, um, between that disparity of a number 16 versus a number 12 team and the data saying that 69% and 60% probability chance that the Knicks win, the fact that Knicks win at home better than the Pistons do on the road. Pistons win 54%, which is still over 50, but winning half of your games on the road, like, is this going to be the half that you win or the half that you lose? Because you're coming into a scenario where the Knicks have a better offense and a better defense. Like, good luck. This is one of the games where I'm like, it could be a sweep. We could see a sweep. And last year, the Knicks were like something good to watch. I got a friend that's a Knicks fan. Shout out to him. He's on this group that I'm on in Marco Polo. But um, the Knicks, the Knicks is, we see them advance a little bit deeper. I think they got a chance. I think they got a chance. It's been a bumpy season a little bit here and there, but here we are. Can they get past the Pistons? I think they can. I think they not only can, but I think they can sweep the Pistons. Um, the Pistons. I mean, like I'm trying to imagine what their superpower is, and like even with the Pistons, like maybe they give themselves a fighting chance if they can get if they can dominate the defensive rebounds and convert that into a fast break. They convert 58% of their fast breaks and give themselves at least 19 points on fast breaks, whereas the Knicks only give themselves 17, but that's still about the same, right? So with that reality, like, what do you do with that? I don't know. Um, what I do know is I don't. This isn't the game that I'm looking at the Pistons as like, yeah, I think I'll take the plus cheese on the nah. Even at 6.5, the books know that the Knicks are definitely going to win this, and they know the Knicks are covering the spread. They're giving you guys money away on the spread. They're giving away minus 105 on the spread. I would take it if I'm you. The Knicks are going to win this by 6.5. The Knicks might win this by 10, maybe. I could be wrong, and I don't care if I'm wrong. It don't matter. Um, I think the Knicks might win this game by 10. Jaden Ivey, 18 points that he contributes. You know what I mean? But you still got Cade Cunningham, right? Tobias, Jaden Ivey. Like, they got some hitters in Detroit, and they got more hitters in Detroit, which can be possibly a threat. The fact that they got more hitters that give a lot of production, maybe they also opens the window for them to cover the spread, but you need to buy that up and add on some hella player props to try to get yourself the plus cheese. You might have to Take the Pistons up from 6.5 to 9.5, which is going to be like minus 290 ish, minus 310. Okay, that's fine. And add in Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson on assists and points and assists combo. Um, it's a lot of different plays that you can put together to add on like four different player props to bring you back from minus 300 or less on buying the spread of the 9.5. But I think that's a necessary cushion you got to give yourself. Maybe you get lucky and you get like three player props plus that minus 300, and it takes you over to like plus 1,000 maybe on the multiplier side of it. That's a possibility for you. I do like that. And as I watch this show and I make my own assumptions about what I do, I like that too. I like that too. Both of them have a stable, but I think that the Pistons have a chance to stay in the game if things go right for them. I don't see I just don't see Detroit imposing their will. I still, again, I don't. I see the Knicks sweeping them. Maybe the Pistons win one game, and that's the one home game that they have. And that's the Knicks win two, the Pistons win one, and then they lose the rest, and this is over. Period. That's what I'm thinking of. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be an interesting game. They both have some producers. It's going to be a competitive game. Injuries weren't in the way, so entertainment value is going to be something to watch. Like your star players, if you are fans of either one of these teams, you get to see your people do what they do. Both of them have a decent bench as well. So even when there's a breather in place and for the load management piece, they can still get some production from that as well. But that's what I see with this game. Again, if you guys have any disagreements, please let me know in the comments. And let's discuss what other options may be for this game or what I may be missing in regards to the matchup. But that's what I see. Let me know what you think. Timberwolves versus the Lakers. There's a reason that both of these boxes are white. If you notice the trend on the other games, you see how like one of the teams would be highlighted green or at least yellow. Both are white. That's not me. That's not me intentionally. That's the AI. That's the formulas that are in place, and they can't determine who's going to win this game. I'm not trying to create any type of drama. That's just what the data says. Even though the mathematical formula of it is leaning more towards around 51% with DR's prediction of 59% chance that the Lakers win, brings us to 55% chance that the Lakers win, which means that this is going to be a competitive match. There's some soap opera aspects to it. I'm not into that. You guys know Spreadsheet Sports is just talking about the game. But it is quite comical. Um, AE is bumping his gums, and he better be careful what he wish for. If they lose and they lose bad, it's going to be very embarrassing for him. I don't want to get into that part, but let's deal with the data. Um, with the data, both teams are coming in with a nice win ratio on the road or at home. Okay, the Timberwolves win decently on the road, and they're coming into a game where the Lakers win at home pretty good as well, 76%. Okay, so that's a check box for the Lakers, but not a count out completely for the Timberwolves. When it comes to defense and offense, the Timberwolves actually outperform the Lakers in that category, and considerably in defense, there's a huge deficit that the Lakers have to overcome. So the Timberwolves are going to be competitive in regards to turnovers, creating turnovers and opportunities when it comes to that. Um, Neither one of the teams are like fast break teams. I will say that. I mean, the Lakers will give themselves 15 points in fast breaks. Both of them are in the 40 percentile when it comes to converting any of the defensive rebounds. When it comes to who's going to possibly win that battle, I would say that it's going to be tough. Both of them are pretty much the same when it comes to crashing the board. So, with that being said, here's where it's going to be a little bit of luck from the round ball. Um, and do the Lakers want luck of the round ball to even be an element in the game? I would argue that they don't want that to happen because they're playing against a team that's slightly competitive, and any inkling of hope or just a lucky charm that presents itself, or a four leaf clover, whatever it is that can present itself as a chance to like stay in it or to take a lead, they're going to chew on their bone. They're going to chew on their bone. Can the Lakers survive it? Absolutely. Like, is that a question? Absolutely not. We're just evaluating this. But even when you look at it, even under a little bit more of a microscope, I mean, when it comes to rebounds, they're kind of the same, right? 44, 47 in the Timberwolves' favor. They do the same amount of assists, and like they're not doing a lot of assists, but they're doing like 26 assists. Like in the grand scheme of things, they're passing the ball around like what, 13 times a game? I mean, 13 times a half, give or take. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. That means that like they're just like everybody's looking for a shot more so than anything else. I mean, but even with saying that, the superpower I think of the Lakers is it's not Luka in my opinion or LeBron. It's AR. I like Austin Reeves, man. Austin Reeves makes a contribution that is like dog soldier. He come in and he like take his marching orders and he like, what do you need me to do for us to win this game? And he'll take his marching orders and he do just that. If they need him to get rebounds, he'll get rebounds. If they need him to make some shots, he'll make shots. If they need him to make some threes or two or three of them, he'll give you that. If you need him to play some defense and create some confusion and maybe get a rip here and there, he'll give you that. That's AR 15, man. This guy, I really like him as a production player. I really, really do. I mean, the Lakers have some other players, but I mean, obviously we know Luca, LeBron, they're gonna do their thing. AR is going to do his thing, and then we'll just kind of have to see how they distribute the ball among everybody else, or is it going to be that they end up with the ball in their hand? Both teams are about equal in regards to the volume of players that are producing, right, and the ones that actually start. I mean, even when you look at on the other side of things, like Rudy Gobert, and then you got Anthony Edwards, AE is a monster. Know how you try to slice it. He's giving you 28, 23 points. I mean, Luka's giving you 30. LeBron's giving you 20 to 24. Like, oh, that's about 50 plus just between two players. Versus on the other side of things, Rudy Gobert and AE are only giving themselves around 40 points. So there's a deficit there. Where did they pick up that deficit? The Timberwolves defense has to be good to keep them in the game and make them like have an 0-2 run several times. That's the only way they survive this. I just showed you that two players are going to get at least 50 points, and the rest will come from everybody else, and maybe even more out of the starters. The starters might give you these two guys might give you 60 points, and that's not exaggerating. What do you do with that when two players can give you 60 points and your two best are giving you like 40? A 20-point deficit you running into? It's simple math. I know AE's going to try to do his 3-point thing, and it better hit because if it don't, then turn the lights off in the gym and give the fans their money back for their tickets and just call it a night. Especially if Lucas start tossing it from anywhere in the gym, doing his little hesitation thing with the dribble. Like you can cancel Christmas if that happens. But gonna be a competitive game. Would I take the Lakers to cover the spread -4.5? No, I wouldn't. I'm not telling you not to. Again, it's not a betting channel, but I'm just telling you. For me, it's too rich for my blood. I'm more inclined to take the Timberwolves at +5.5. I would even bite on the 4.5. I wouldn't even buy it up. I think it's going to be. I think the Lakers are going to win by 2 points, 3 points at max. We might even see an overtime. We might even see overtime. Total points. Hard to say. Like, do you guys all think that it's going to be a high scoring game? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Nah, because they don't do a lot of fast breaks. I'm gonna go with under 232 on this game. I'm going with under. I'm sorry, under 216. I think it's gonna be more like 105 to 108. Lakers win. 105, 108. Lakers win is what I'm leaning more towards for this game. But gonna be exciting. Entertainment value is gonna be there. I think all of us would be thoroughly enjoyed about the outcome. I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of either one, and maybe not if your team loses, but great game to watch. Great game to watch. So I'll leave you guys with this. I mean, obviously, if you're looking at this version, um, you know that I wanted to just really sum up what I am thinking about all four of the games. You may have watched the version that's just one game, but you can watch the other videos that I have in the library and break down the other games if you're watching the short content. But just to give you a bonus feature, I mean these selections are what I think are going to happen from these games with the Bucks and the Pacers. I'm thinking that the Pacers win this game. Money line is your best option. Um, Total points over. Clippers versus the Nuggets. It's a nail biter, and I think you could go either way on the money line. But if you need like something, the spread is 2.5. The books also think the books don't know which way this is going either. Just to be clear, they would stick their chest out and go to 5.5 if they knew which way it was going. They don't know. They think the Clippers got a chance. I mean, you're not a psycho if you take the money line. I would back you up and support you if you took the money line. But would it be my only play? No. I would round robin these four games and maybe add in some baseball to get like 7 games in total and mix and match it up. Um, but these are the games and how I look at them. A couple other plays from the Clippers and the Nuggets would be the spread for the Nuggets if you went with the Nuggets. It's hard to argue against the Nuggets as well. How do you do that? You can't. Team points for the Clippers. Um, I definitely like that. At least 115 points for the Nuggets. At least 110 points for the Clippers if they have that bet, and I'm pretty sure they do. Maybe even 108. Um, Pistons and the Knicks. I like the Knicks to win the game, even though I don't have it's selected there. I like the Knicks to cover the spread too. I think if the Knicks win this game, they're going to cover the spread. They're going to win and blow out if they win. If they don't and it's tight, then we might see like what's going, and that's kind of hard because the Knicks like dominate all the categories. So let me retract that. Knicks win. Knicks cover the spread. Pistons ain't got a snowball chance in hell. Just to clear things up. And last but not least, Timberwolves and the Lakers game. I got to go with the Lakers. Not because I'm a fan of any player. Like I'm really not. I'm not a hater of any of the players as well. They all. This is like a night. This is like a weekend and nighttime market. Like I have no personal anything about anybody. They just need to produce for me, and that's it. And with that being said, like collectively as a team, I think they can pull it off. But at the same time, I would not overlook at least taking plus 4.5. I would take entertain the plus 1.5. I mean, you can take the minus 182 for the money line for the Lakers. It ain't the best bet, but I would take the plus 4.5 for the Timberwolves. Might see overtime. It might be a buzzer beater. AE is not going out like a punk, and if he got a rabbit foot up his ass, then maybe the threes start to drop. Or he might be on some Michael Jordan type thing. He'll start driving to the rim. I don't know what AE we're gonna see, but it's gonna be exciting. But anyway, that's my idea or my overview of the money lines, the spreads, team points, and total points. Um, do with it what you may. Make your own decision up. Let this be the starting point for your own research. Um, I think we're gonna definitely have a really, really, really good day. So, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, that brings us to the end of the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm excited about what the playoffs are going to bring us. I think it's going to bring us a lot of entertainment value, a lot of monetary value. The books are definitely. I would say the books are like stabbing in the dark just as much as we are, because I'm seeing from an analytical perspective where my models are coming up either spot on or one or two off from what they're making the lines at. And that's scary because it puts you in a pick me scenario where it's like, well, do I go over or under? I mean, there are a considerable amount of data, that is, enough under the line where you can be like, yeah, it's gonna be under. Or either it's enough over where you can be like, yeah, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be 5 points over, 7 points over. Like, yeah, he's gonna get that, even with the matchup, even with the defense, whatever the case may be. But it's tight right now. The margins aren't razor thin yet, but they're gonna get there for NBA. But anyway, again, if you found value in this video, please like, comment, share, or subscribe. Thank you guys for coming to the show. If you found any value in this segment, then make sure to watch anything that's in the other shows that are going to be the individual game breakdowns and also the entire episode of all four games for the breakdown. But check out the catalog, check out the library. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.